Okay, it's our last breeding shed tour, and as I'm leaving town for 3 days. So let's get a good look at where we stand so we'll be able to tell what happened when we come back. Here's our babies. They're looking good. I see yellow pins on the one, and the other one is normally shaped and lively, even though he's behind in development by... They grow so fast that he's probably really only about 3 days behind in development. Which is good, and they'll make that up. And then here we have Kobe and his Coco, who laid her egg. Are you okay, Miss Thing? Where's that egg? Where'd he go? There it is. Yeah, she looks okay. She had a hard time of it. She did not lay the egg yesterday when I gave her the calcium in the water. But last night, after they were all asleep, I thought, you know, she's probably dehydrated. So I put some electrolyte solution in her water bowl so she could drink it when she woke up in the morning, and she laid it this morning about mid-morning. So that might have had something to do with it as well. But as a general rule, once this hen lays the first egg, she's good to go, and she'll lay 8 eggs. She's one of my biggest layers, so... And she has a nice big cuddle bone in there, a brand new one, but she dumped her mineral cup, so I'm going to refill it with salt and grit and oyster shell. Okay, let's see what old Fluffy and Sprite are doing over here. We have 4 babies that are looking good. The little one's got food in their crop, and she's done. She's hatched them all. And they look good. They're small, so I am keeping her in calcium as well. But they're not formed wrong. They're just small babies. They hatch small and they are small. But Sprite's not a huge bird. I think he finally made it out of the 50s and into the low 60s, but he's 2 years old now. She weighs about 65 grams. So they may just grow later, but I'll keep them in calcium anyway. Here is Sky and Jester, and Sky's 3 babies are looking fabulous. I taped up the second one because one of his legs was sticking out. She took the tape off, but he seems to have straightened out anyway. And I banded the youngest chick today. We'll see if it stays, because he's not really due to be banded yet. His feet are still a little bit small, but I'm leaving for 3 days, and I had such trouble getting her older chicks banded because their feet got so big that I wanted to see if I could get a jump on it. Here is Sprite, and lo and behold, hi Missy, what you got in there? Do you see that broken eggshell over there? She has a baby. Just the one. I'm keeping an eye on it. But her 2 of those eggs look viable to me. This one hatched the day before the last egg was supposed to hatch, but I don't think it was the last egg because it's a really big chick. So I think it hatched a day late, and there's another one yet to come. There is Scruffy and his terrible beastly girl. Let's see if she'll let us take a look. This is Laurel, and she has just a boatload of babies in there. And that one egg, which I took out and candled, and it is full and solid. So let me see if I can get her off, though. So I'm not going to take it from her. It very well may hatch yet. Look at all those little babies. I banded her first chick today. She has nice, big, solid feet. And she's cranky. But she's doing a great job, and she's a hen that she's doing so well with her other 4. They're all in nice graduated sizes, well fed. Her biggest baby's 10 days old and banded perfectly today. So he's about the right size, and his feet are growing. So if she hatches that 5th egg, I'll let her keep it, because she'll probably be able to handle it without too much difficulty. I'm thrilled. My dilute program seems to be coming along nicely. Speaking of dilutes, this is Scruffy, this is Stratus and Marine. Are you going to let us see? Oh, Stratus, get back in there. Go on, shoot. 3 eggs. Very nice. Okay, and here is Gray. And although, now, giving them the calcium, even 1/8 of a teaspoon in a whole cup, will constipate the babies eventually. So today, I've been giving it to them for about 3 or 4 days straight now. Today, I pulled the calcium on everybody, and they're getting straight water and vegetables, except for Gray and Cloudy, because their babies are behind. I don't want to stop them for a day, because they're making progress in the right direction. And I'm really kind of worried about the oldest one. I have a feeling it was far enough behind, so it's not going to develop quite right, whereas the younger one, the second oldest one, has bigger wings. So, but they're looking good. They're starting to grow some down. So I think I found the cure here. But I'm going to keep dosing them with calcium straight on through. So here's Haverty, who is getting in a lovely mask, by the way. Spangles have this inside-out mask. The big round dots at the bottom are supposed to be hollow circles. And he is getting those in. He's 10 months old and finishing his 10-month molt. He's going to go hit the show bench in about a month, so I'm thrilled about that. And his babies, I banded the little one. Did Mama let it stay on? Just out of curiosity? Yep, it's still on. So what I did with her is, they weren't really quite ready to have their box cleaned out for the first time, but I thought, you know what? She pulled the band off the first one like 3 times, so I went ahead and put the shavings in the box to distract her so she wouldn't notice the band on the chick's leg. And so far it seems to have worked. I hope it's still there tomorrow. And here is Sparky. And I just looked at Lilith, and she is up to 4 eggs. I'm not going to disturb her. This is the first time she's laid more than 3 eggs. So I think we finally got a baby from what's his name? Razzle here. I think Razzle is not hugely fertile because he's been matched up with Lilith twice, and both times she only laid a few eggs. And little Miss Remington here laid him 5 eggs, but 2 of them weren't fertile. So I think he's maybe less than 100% fertile, but he's a beautiful bird. So I'll take whatever I can get. I'm really hoping for a second chick after this first one, because that would be great. So he's a lovely guy. He's not huge. He only weighs about... His brother Bubba is the big one. He weighs like 64 grams. His Bubba weighs 72 or something like that. But he has lovely feathers, so I'd love to see some babies out of him. And over here, we have 2 of our 3 little parakeet chicks. I mean, hens that I got to get my recessive pied line going. And the reason we only have 2 is because one of them was a tiny baby, so I know that, I have to wait for at least 4 months to breed her. And my call out for a budgie, a show budgie recessive pied female, finally got an answer. So she's only 7 months old, so I'll have to wait a couple of months. But she's in the kitchen, and she's going to get bred to Gray over here. Who will be, because I'm having to give them calcium while he's raising these babies, he will be infertile for a good month after he's done raising these chicks. And she has to wait for a few months to be ready to breed anyway. So that breeding will get delayed, but these 2 girls are a go for Pie and Royal. Royal's, by the way, his head bob went away because I treated him for air sac mites again. So there's definitely a link there. So that's the breeding shed. I'm taking off for 3 days, so we'll see what everybody looks like when we get back.